Hello, everybody. We are going to go ahead and begin. This is a rebroadcast of webinar number 5 of the Statewide Program of Study, where we explicitly look at professional development. And in this webinar, it is a rebroadcast due to some of the technical difficulties that occurred in the original broadcast. With that, I appreciate your perseverance and willingness to engage, and look forward to seeing the Statewide Program of Study coming together. The long-term goal of the program of study is that all the programs will be synced together through the year 2020, and additionally those programs that will be joining in late will be synced in and expire on that 2020. I was getting some audio feedback, so I apologize. And even if somebody jumps in on year 2019, a new high school, new program, they would be active for 1 year and then go through the renewal cycle with everyone else. And a number of you, this is a renewal cycle, so it's not earth-shattering information that you're receiving. If you have any questions about this webinar, please email Reynold. Additionally, you can call me on my cell phone or my landline. A lot of you have my cell phone, and I'm fine to receive cell phone calls as well. And my, if I can remember my phone number, this is almost funny, 5615. So please give me a call either way. And the archives for this is available at our Program of Study website. And the Program of Study website has this information available, and you can actually click and download the live documents, which we're going to come back to this here shortly. So moving forward, so today's objectives is what is needed for the Perkins Program of Study Professional Development element, and that's what we're going to get. What is expected? What is the hill to die on? And a program of study is a seamless transition between high school and community college partners, and you create a family, and you are together in that. So statewide, as we add all the different players, how does that work? Well, that works by we have some commonality. And OFRI has stepped forward, and they have their continued professional development model, and they have the 3 workshops that occur during the school year, as well as they have their summer forestry workshop, summer forestry tour, which is more of an in-depth tour. And there's college credit available for all of these, but Perkins can't pick that up. But you need to be participating in the OFRI professional development is the long and the short. The community colleges have agreed that they're going to be partners with OFRI and working with OFRI, helping to develop, to mold, to guide, to shape, to sync together, going back to our standards and going back to what are the industry expectations respective of the natural resource forestry industry. So, professional development, Perkins is a driving force behind this conversation. I know with additional funding coming online, Perkins is becoming less and less relevant, but it's still the benchmark that the new funding is being measured up to. So, there is a 10% required use of Perkins funds in each region for the professional development. So in that, your region coordinator deals with this more than you need to worry about it. But professional development is an expectation of Perkins. So professional development is a long-term sustained effort, not just a one-day workshop. And not to pick on the one-day workshops, because I've attended a dozen of them. I've facilitated more than dozens, but the workshops need to be guiding you towards your long-range plans, and that is what OFRI has in mind. Here is some of the areas we've identified from the teachers, from the industry partners that where we need to strengthen and improve. And then with that, we're going to build our professional development workshops and conferences around that. So you need to examine, where is it that you need to be? What is your long-range goal? I know a number of you are just working on your licensure. That can be included in your professional development plan. By the end of 3 years to the TSPC, I'm going to report I have concluded all of these activities. OFRI could be part of that. The OVATA Summer Conference could be part of that. I envision that as the Teachers Association, respective of the natural resource side, could start to develop more meaningful professional development as well. Those conferences could roll into it as well. So, going back a little bit to the conversation about Perkins, as you're working with your region coordinator and you identify that you want to attend a workshop, and let's say you want to go to the world-renowned aquaculture workshop in Arizona. So that workshop is identified, it's going to occur in June, you put money towards it, and then May rolls around and you decide, oh, I can't make that workshop. Those funds still have to stay in professional development. They cannot be allocated for stuff. So once you put money into professional development, it needs to stay in professional development. So that is where your region coordinator is going to be hustling you from your professional development plan. What are you doing? How are you doing it? When is it going to be done? So another note on professional development, and some of you may have seen this slide before. The Perkins calendar has an overlap, and an overlap that occurs between July and into November. There is a given overlap of each year. So in that overlap, the region coordinators have a responsibility to make sure that the activities for the given Perkins year stay in that year. So right now we are in 2016 and we're in the March, April, May period of planning. So as all the region coordinators are doing their planning, they're looking at everything respective of the Perkins year. So the planning was done here, and the teacher says, I want to do a conference that occurs in Wisconsin every year where all the international foresters get together and we discuss the latest trends in forestry. So that occurs every year in, let's say it occurs in July. But you're in this planning stage right now and you say, can't go on this July. I'm going to shoot for next July. Well, your region coordinator is going to come back and say, we can plan on you attending, but we need you to attend in the next grant cycle, not the current grant cycle. Because if you attend in July, you're actually out of any student contact period for the school year that the Perkins grant's meant to improve. So that contact period that you're working with students is basically July to June. Any professional development you get in July at the front side of the grant, you're going to be able to alter, impact, and change the lives of students. I know June, students are out of school in June, but if you have a workshop that occurs in June, it needs to be in the given grant cycle that June funds are available for. So here's a little bit about the Perkins overlay of how the calendars happen. The money happens between July 1 to June. Okay, and that's a little geeky for a number of you about how Perkins operates. So to that end, professional development timing, it needs to stay in the appropriate school year that the funds are allocated. So do your professional development on the front side of the Perkins grant. So what is required? Secondary and post-secondary programs are required to be connected. For the high schools, you are expected to be attending at least 2 of the 3 professional development activities through OFRI each year. Or if you want to go to the Forestry, Sustainable Forestry Teacher Tour, you can attend that week workshop and get the efforts of professional development. The same is true for the community colleges. They're to be participating with OFRI and providing these workshops. And I even envision that the workshops will take place at some of the colleges, but that is yet to be determined, and as far as dates and when. So, what is required? Skin in the game. You are a player of the program. You are part of the family, and you're sharpening your tools. You're improving your craft. So, future webinars coming up. The final webinar is going to be on May 12th. At that time, I'm going to share with you the cover page and the application and what is required for submission. Also, at that time, your region coordinators will be hustling you to get your respective signatures on your side. I've already got the community colleges. They've met and they have signed or are in the process of signing the document as well. At the conclusion, you're going to submit everything to Reynolds Gardner, and each of these items are going to be attached. Now, the professional development side of it, you're going to identify that you're participating in OFRI. It's expected in the statewide program of study. Quick reminder, what is required for the elements of Perkins. Each of these elements have something that you're going to submit or indicate as to what you're doing in the program of study. Now, professional development is OFRI. If I can write, I would. So, in that, I'm going to quickly jump over. In the statewide program of study, we have the required elements. So, for standards and content, you need to submit the template and the course descriptions of your courses. For for alignment articulation, you submit a visual, and here are some sample visuals that you submit as you show students how they can do their information, how students would track and flow into the post-secondary program. Also, in technical skill assessment, you identify what technical skill assessment element that you're going to use. So these are all part of the submission pieces that you'll be utilizing as we get closer to the actual June 30th submission date, or at the conclusion of the May 12th webinar. You could even submit that day if you have all the other pieces together. So, questions. If you have questions, email me at or go ahead and give me a phone call, and I'd be more than willing to address any questions you have. Thank you so much. I appreciate all that you do, and we'll look forward to taking your programs of study, getting them submitted, approved, and then welcoming you into the Perkins family. And I will sign off.